Woohoo! Hey, welcome everybody live to Hex Token channel. I'm your host Superman, and we're going to have a fun, just a community hangout today. Of course, we're going to look at the price, and of course, the price had a little bit of a flash spike or flash. It's like a mini flash crash, not a big flash crash, but definitely spiked down and challenged support line. So we're going to check that, and of course, look at the liquidity that's there. Yeah, this sometimes happens when we're in the quiet spot before the launch. You get some either you're going to get this big FOMO happening, ramping up over time, or you're just going to get this quiet time. Obviously, we've got no trigger point, no gamification at the moment around Pulsechain launch, and it could still be several weeks away, if not a month away. So we've got to be pragmatic about that. Richard's indicated there's not a lot left to do, but of course we need some sort of signaling that it's coming. So we're in that very quiet spot. We're going to talk about a lot of that and a few other things as well. Yeah, welcome. It's going to be a lot of fun. And don't forget to catch me for the live show later today. That's when we get into some sort of insightful educational presentation type of live stream, and we'll do that probably 5-6 hours from now. So it'll be a lot of fun. The other thing, of course, is did a couple of videos on YouTube. So I'm doing a video series. These are very short videos, pre-recorded videos. You can see one here, how to buy PulseX on the PulseX crypto exchange. This is a quick and easy series. So I'll be doing a whole ton of these videos. There'll just be a quick access video if you want to just touch a particular topic, maybe buy PulseX, maybe bridge Ethereum over to Pulsechain, things like that. There's going to be a whole ton of these short, about 5-minute videos. Sometimes it might be shorter or slightly longer, but definitely check that out on Hex Token here. So you can see I've already published a few of these. You can see how to bridge ETH, how to buy PulseX, how to buy Pulse, things like that. So there's going to be a lot more of these coming, and they're just nice, short and easy videos to pick up. You don't have to watch a big live stream or something like that. Even though I do leave timestamps for something a bit easier to follow there. So hopefully that should be very cool. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and hit the bell, of course. And if you want to join the channel, hit the join button at the top right there, and we've got Pulsechain, Skins, Richard Heart Club. Of course, we'll be promoting pretty much full on every day, right up to Pulsechain launch and right past Pulsechain launch into the future, because it's going to be pretty exciting. So definitely check out some of the how-to videos if you want to just touch up a little bit on a particular topic. These will be for you, and they're only a couple of minutes long, so that means you could have it watch them during coffee break. Definitely spread them around, share them around to people that you think they might be useful to on particular topics, and go for gold. Feel free to also recommend any particular topics that you want covered in short videos, 5-minute videos. Let me know in the chat, or let me know in the contents after the live stream. But that's pretty cool, folks. Let's get into it, and we're going to get read a couple of comments here. We are playing the ducks, so hopefully that's going up and nicely. Let me have a look here. So yeah, sounds pretty good. So we're playing was it sleeping with the ducks, walking with the ducks? I forget. Feeding the ducks, playing with feeding the ducks. And I noticed that Brazolji, big shout out, was on did a little testimonial, Hex testimonial on Twitter, and it looked like he was feeding the ducks. There were some ducks in the background, so big shout out to Brazolji. I did watch that just earlier, so that was a bit of fun. Brennan's in there as well. Hey Brennan, good to see you. Morning all. And Taffrin's in with the money bags and the rockets. I love that. What else we got going? Hex Down Under says, good morning Vietnam. How's it? Good morning Vietnam. That's a Robin Williams quote there. One of the great movie moments, that's for sure. Brennan says, haha, yeah, for sure. Well, my fullback, my bull flag prediction. So let's full this price chart here. This is the US dollar V3 price chart. Obviously, we had the dip down, and of course, this is on the daily here. We dipped down. Guess what? We dipped down all the way to 9.3 cents. Can you believe it? That's the liquidity is quite thin, and so people can move the price on this particular trading pair. Now, the previous low that we had was back on the 9th of March, and that was also around about 9.3 cents, just slightly lower. 928. That's twice now. We've tested this 9.3 cent mark here, and how many days is between that? That's that there is 29 days, so a month ago. We are in this quiet spot at the moment. You can see the charts telling us we're in a quiet spot. We have been here before back in December, and we had a bit of excitement around the PulseX sacrifice, and of course now we're just waiting for Pulsechain. This is typical because we got no gamification. No one's people are just like, oh, when it comes, it will come. Then I'll get excited. Then I'll start buying. That's what I think's happening here. And of course, we'll wait and see how Richard does this for sure. All right, so cool. We have had a lot of sacrifices too. People are probably a little bit sacrificed out there. I did see that Magic Cup, where I just had a live stream with another sacrifice. I don't know much about it, but that's out there too at the moment. But so we've had probably a little bit exhausting people just calling off at this stage. And let's have a quick look at the markets as well, just to see what they're like. And we're going to pull that up and see where they've pulled back a little bit. Now, we do know Luna is doing a $10 billion buy. Well, that's their intention or announcement. They've only done about 1.4 billion so far, about 30,000 Bitcoin or so. And so, yeah, Bitcoin's pulling off there a little bit, 43,500 and Ethereum at 3,200 at the moment. So it has pulled off a little bit there. That would make it a bit easier for Luna, depending on their dollar price going up there. We have got Luna here, $107. It's got here on the Luna price there, down 8%. So interesting stuff happening there. All right, so Hex is currently at 12.9 cents. Let us know your thoughts about the price, about your what if you're looking to pick up Hex. Let me know in the chat. Things like that. Let me know. Bob Fish King says, "Woo! I don't understand people dumping the Hex low." Yeah, me too. And Brendan says, well, my bull flag prediction was wrong in the daily. Well, yeah, it fell away. Now, because we do things like bull flags or this or that, it's giving us probability. But sometimes the smaller probability or likelihood plays out instead. Human behavior can do certain things. And like I say, we're still in that quiet spot. We've seen quiet spots before. We would have been in a quiet spot over here back in August. And then we had this, obviously the biggest rally all time. We were in a relatively quiet spot in here. Every time we have a parabolic, we have this quiet spot in here. At the moment, of course, we're coming down from a pretty big high at 52 cents. And of course, that's pulling us down at the moment. We're still at probably 11 or 12x on the yearly. Something like that, maybe at least 80x on the yearly. Bob Fish King says, woohoo, I don't understand. And Hex Down Under says, I think the highest of the stakes will be finished, then Pulse will launch. Well, that would not be great there, Hex Down Under. That would be too long. Kinetics told us yesterday that the highest stakes is moving into post-production. That would mean that they're doing a lot of the, any graphics work and things like that. So editing and things, it's probably in that process. And so, yeah, they probably only do extra forming if something really, really good was there. So, yeah, we will see. Be interesting because Pulsechain's coming up. That might have been a pretty good thing to form, but I think they've probably got plenty of content so far. Raoul says, hello, good to see you. Woo. Yeah, I like that. That's a short version of woo. I haven't actually seen a woo that short, so that's pretty funny. John Gibbons says, hey, Hex Token, thanks as always. Hey, a pleasure there, John, and great to see you in the chat there. Craig Wedding's in the house. Woo. Hey, hopefully there's a better time for you, Craig, during the day. And Rare Groove says, Hex Token viewers, let's pump it live. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. We always like to have a green candle. Let's go to we're on the hourly. Let's go to the hourly here with the chart here. So you can see these spikes down. Let's actually go and have a look at the trades of those spikes. So we've got these spikes here. We can actually see they're actually really small. The price movement was really small. So here we were, and we haven't had that many trades either. There's not many trades here. And remember, this is version 3 Uniswap, the USD pool. And of course, we were sitting here at about 13. This is at 5 o'clock. So this is my time, 5 o'clock 34 in the morning. So that is, what is that? About 5-6 hours ago. And the price was sitting at 13.3 cents. Then it went to 13.3, and then it went to 11.4, and then 9.3. So all in a couple of transactions. That's it. That's nothing. That's like nothing bigger. And look at the amount of Hex. It's really super small. 5,000. Then the big one there was 275,000 hex. That's what really took us down there. And of course, then we ended up down with another trade there, 24,000. That took us down to 9.3 cents. So liquidity is really small to do that. And yeah, there we are. We already know liquidity was pulled a couple of weeks back and gave us a much smaller liquidity pool. Makes the pricing go up and down much easier. So that was it. Then we bounced back to 11.2 cents, then 13 cents again with a couple of buys, 281,000. And maybe this one here, this 275, that looks like an MEV bot trade. So that looks like a bot trade there. We've got the sell here front running this 24,000 sell. That gave them a really bad rate. Now we've covered this before, the MEV bots. Now they're one of the top gas users as well on Ethereum. Typically, I think they're on the first page of Ethereum. Let's actually go and have a look at that while we're here. So we're going to go into that and let's have a look at gas tracker. I think might have it. Yeah, we've got the MEV bots here. May or may not be on the front track because of the time of day, like when it's hardcore MEV bot trade. So here's the MEV bot trade here. So number 23, big gas user, almost 0.5%, 0.42% in the last 3 hours. So we've got the MEV bot tracking here. We've got another MEV bot down here, number 29. So you've got a few of them mucking around. They're high gas users. So yeah, Gwei's not too bad though. 31 Gwei at the moment. It's not too bad. So yeah, that looks like an MEV bot trade. That took us down to that test that price. That's what I said. You know, the Hex price chart is influenced. A lot of the spikes and stuff are influenced by the MEV bots. Where some other projects have some bot protection on their price, particularly if they have certain controls over the assets, so they're able to do that. I know of projects that do that. So if we hit on this particular contract, we would see that that's an MEV bot there. Yeah, see there are MEV bots. See, so just take that into account. So there's a start, you know, trading from a profit there on appears. So how much do they get out of that from the looks of it? They ended up getting about $6,000 US. So not 6,000 Hex they got out of that. So for the same amount of US dollars. So sometimes they're making US dollar or Ethereum gains by doing those front running trades. And of course, the person that sold, they thought they were selling at about 13 cents. They only ended up getting 9.3 cents. So they really got punished for selling on this one. They thought they were selling for 13.3. They got 9.3 cents. That's a massive difference. So they'll be very disappointed, whoever that is out there, with that particular sell trade. Obviously, we've got some buying back in. We just had a little bit about a selling now. And I've got these double ups here. I'm not sure if that's the same account. Sometimes it does get double ups here on Dex Tools. So let me just refresh the browser there. No, it's still saying that that's in-house. Let's go check that account there. We've got any, I think that was it. So 2 calls there. Okay. So, you know, just a little bit there happening. We're currently at 12.9 cents, but no big buying. We haven't had any big buying. A lot of the money's off the market at this stage. So we'll just have to wait and be patient until Richard does, you know, announces some sort of gamification around the Pulsechain launch. And then it will be every cat and dog will be jumping over each other to pick it up. That's just the way it's going to go. Let's have a look at, so yeah, the market's pulled back a little bit too. So I guess a bit of general sentiment there, but still holding up at a really good level. I'm pretty stoked at this level. As you guys know, I always talk about that. Artie Lun's in the house, woo-hoo-hoo, on the Hex Token fans. Hey, nice one there, Artie. Good to see you in the chat there. Got my coffee since, Brendan. Yeah, got mine too. Got my latte. Got my latte here. So, actually, I think it's a cappuccino. It's a cappuccino. My bad, says Superman in third person. Spike says, what's up, Hex and Pulse people? So yeah, let's just get rid of some of this formation there. We got Chen Hex, not the price spike. The price is not up. Quiet before the storm, should be buying Hex until launch. Yeah. Hey, so I had 1 or 2 people when we were on a live stream, and I'm going to repeat this again for the second time. They said, you like to cover the price when it's green. Well, I like to cover the price when it's doing something like a major turning point, whether it's green or red. So I'll jump on and do a live stream on a price if it's doing something of importance. If it's just moving along kind of nicely, it's kind of not that exciting to look at the chart. But given the fact that we had an MEV bot do the spike trade, the MEV bots are actually impacting our price chart momentum. So that's been the case several times now. In fact, that was the case when we were back up here. So this is the hourly chart back up here. This spike here's the MEV bot trade, and look what we did. So let me double check on that one. Yeah, this one here was an MEV bot trade. We busted down here. Then we had a nice big buy come in on the green candle. It's the only big buy that we've had for a while now. And of course that pushed us back up to 15.6 seconds. But this MEV bot trade over here front run somebody that was selling 1.1 million hex, and of course they front run that, and then we spiked down, and then of course the market followed in suit with the MEV bot. So they do influence our trade pattern, in my view. Obviously people jumped on here where they saw this, they started to sell down, and of course then we have someone selling here, the MEV bots does here, and that's going to make people go, oh boy, it's getting a bit of weakness, and they start selling down. So you can see the MEV bots, in my opinion, do have an influence on the Hex chart. So it's quite interesting seeing that. The other thing, of course, is Hedron. Hedron also had similar timing with the pullback there, pullback to 2,300. Now we did say flick the thing, I think yesterday, that Hedron was probably a 60-40 on the down low. I'm pretty sure that's what we were commenting. I have to double check my video on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what we said. And of course now we're down to 2276. Now we did say that a full pullback would be the 78.6 at least on the the Hedron price, and of course that's what we're seeing now. So if it broke this line here we had this orange line here, if it broke the 2400 to 2500 line, that was going to go down and particularly test the 2000 there, and that's looks like it's not too far away from that, and potentially it could even go down to 1700. I think I kind of feel that that's the bottom. If it does get there, that would be the bottom. So pretty much a good DCA level coming up at the moment in this zone. So even at this price is probably a good DCA level. This is kind of where we landed before as well. If you look back on the 25th of March, we were down as low as 2181. So this could be nice little support here, although the candle's a bit bigger here, and maybe we could definitely go down to 2000 there, but that would be a higher low, that would be a lower low, sorry. So that would make the chart a bit different, right, as opposed to holding support here at the 2200 mark. So we'll keep watching that at this stage, but if it breaks support, yeah, you're looking at probably 1700, 2000 at this stage. I think there's still quite a few buyers around for Hedron, so I still think it's got its chance of finding a bottom, as it were. Let's have a look in the comments there. And Jean-François Bossou is in house. Good morning from Numia. Hey, good morning to you. Sounds great. Numia is a beautiful place. Brendan says BTC holders biting their nails at the BTC conference. Yes, people talking about the BTC conference like influencing the BTC pullback. I'm like, no, is anyone watching that stuff? I mean, really, the BTC conference didn't look very well put together. And I think the crypto communities, that's why I like Pulsechain. Pulsechain looks like it's actually going to be like really, really cool, like really professional. So yeah, that's my view. I thought it looked like a some sort of amateur boys club that's hired the local town hall. No, not town hall, the village hall. Hired the local village hall, put up a few lights, maybe a few steam machines. I don't know, something like that. I thought it was smaller. I know it looked like that. And what else we got going? Christos says, good evening, Superman. Happy to be here live with you. Hey, Christos, appreciate that. Me too. And what's good, Hexkins? Love and light, says Hexuo Mario. Nice. That's a pretty cool name. Liza Vanessa says, hello, how are you today? Good, thank you. It's sunny here in good old Kiwi land, New Zealand. And it's currently 11:26 a.m. on Thursday, 7th of April. So well in the future. Hi all, Hex and EHEX, PLS and PLSX for the win, absolutely. So definitely, if you want to, once again, I'm doing this short video series, so definitely check those videos out, share them around. They're only about 5 minutes long, so they're easily, you can easily watch it during a tea break or something like that, or a cup of coffee. We've got how to bridge ETH so far, how to buy PulseX, how to buy Pulse. The next one will be coming up will probably be around bridging USDC or stablecoin. And liquidity is another one coming up, so there's going to be heaps of them, so spread them around for sure. Yeah, Hedron at 2276 at the moment. Dave from Down Under says, I can't believe the whales and people with deep pockets aren't lining up for Hex. It's cheap and the airdrop is just around the corner. What if King Richard surprised the airdrop on everyone? Well, that's the key. That if Richard does do that, then I'm sure a lot of them would be upset that they haven't taken positions. I would suggest that they're risk averse at the moment and possibly waiting for, with the markets generally, and possibly waiting for the gamification from Richard before they make their move. That's probably what I would suggest is happening. We're definitely in the quiet spot, as you guys know. Anytime you're in a quiet spot with the crypto, particularly if the project's not a good one, the price just slides all the way down, almost to zero, right? But this is not this is obviously Hex, so it's a lot different, a quality project. So we'll see. I did see that Randy Alaski put out a little video, said don't fudge yourself out of your position with Hex, because, like, in other words, sell it and panic because Pulsechain's coming soon. So Randy Alaski was just trying to share some wisdom there with the possibly people relatively new to crypto holding a Hex position, for example. Hola says, hey, Hex token, would a launch in a bear market be better to set the price of PLS and PLSX? No, I don't think so. I think the next bear market could be quite bad. And I do think bear markets, under ordinary circumstances, I think crypto bear markets will be shorter. But remember, they're based on momentum too. You'd lose that momentum. It's really like a flat tire on a car. It's hard to get that thing moving again. But I do think that it's better to launch now where we've got values, asset values like this, because as I always argue, we've got income and we've got assets, and if you want your assets values to be reasonably high so that they can transfer into Pulsechain through the bridges, through the fiat gateways, and of course we've got at the moment, I think this is what I call half beer, not like a drink of beer, but a beer like an animal beer. I always do the little animal beer. But anyway, jokes aside, half bear market is better at the moment. And of course, this is actually almost turning back into a bull market. I think if BTC could get over 50k and hold over there and start moving up, that would be a bull market for me. Anything under 50 is basically not, in my view. It's a bit of a trickster hill. Yeah, we'll see. The fact that you got Sayers and Luna out there talking big buys, then that may give us that triple top, and that keep the bull market turning along. It's kind of thing. But yeah, definitely, I understand. Obviously, the lower the prices, the higher that it can go up in terms of the X returns. But I think that definitely having more asset value makes a lot more sense. We've got, instead of having just a Hex guide whale around to move the Hex price to kick that off, we've got a lot of other large whales around as well. So, and then remember, with the sacrifice, most of the tokens for PLS and PLX have gone out, so they're going to go out to a select group of people that sacrificed. That basically means that every single person in crypto that wants to come on and thrive on Pulsechain, wants to get their airdrop, and if they want to participate in Pulse and PulseX and the awesomeness that tokenomics and that, then they need to buy that off those small groups. So the small group, there's going to be a big group. The big group wants what the small group's got. That's pretty much it, and that's what's going to give you a price up. And if the small group has got nice little asset values like Ethereum and other stuff that they can bridge over, and then that's going to be awesome, not only just for the liquidity pools, but for the people holding PulseX and Pulse, because people will be after those tokens, and that includes not just crypto people, but more institutional orientated or size people, venture capitals and stuff like that, more the Overwatch type of investors. So 3 arrows and stuff like that. All right, cool. Craig says it's 7 p.m. at my time. Hex Token, perfect time for me every day. Thanks. Hey, Craig, that's perfect. 7 p.m. is a pretty good time. Just after dinner too, so that's nice. David Down Under says, I want to stake some of my. I'm just going to put this back on the Hex price here. I want to stake some of my Hex, but the Ethereum gas fees are ridiculous. So I'll wait for Pulsechain. Oh, really? I guess it depends on how much Hex you're staking, but what do we have? The gas fee here. It was down at 30 Gwei. Now it's at 40 Gwei. Now, typically Sunday between 1 and 3 a.m. UTC time. It's 1 to 3 a.m. UTC time is typically the lower period that you can sort of guarantee is more likely then. But we have had quieter period, lower gas prices at other times as well, more recently, especially since we came down from that double top. But obviously the price has been moving up there. We've been getting some moments where the gas price has been in, at least I've seen 70, 80. We did see Richard posted a snapshot of over 3,000 Gwei the other day. So it must have really spiked up. But 36 Gwei is getting down there. So yeah, try your luck to get that stake. Obviously share rate's going up. You will get a copy of a stake on Pulsechain. So yeah, just something to think about there. Brendan says I staked another 5 years last night at 38 Gwei. Not too bad, guys. 3 p.m. Australia is good. Yeah, well, 38 Gwei. It's now 38 Gwei at the moment. So that's pretty interesting there. What did it cost you, Brendan? Let us know in terms of will it be Australian dollars, will it? Well, US dollars. It'll be US dollars you're paying. So let us know what it cost you at 38 Gwei. We've got an estimate here. I don't know if this has a stake value, but we've got the Uniswap Vision 3, $23 at the moment. So maybe we're somewhere around this ballpark here. Let us know. Handyman's in the house. How's it? Says Handyman. Very, very good. And good to see you in the chat. Handyman, that's a cool name. Redgroove says dangerous waiting to buy Hex lower as you may miss the fork. That's true. Well, it's just hard to know whether I suspect he's going to gamify the fork. I mean, that would make the most sense to me. You could just do suddenly launch mainnet and then it's got a fork with it, which kind of that wouldn't pump the Hex price. It wouldn't pump the Hex price the way that you would do it if you launched at the fork for the airdrops coming up soon. I think 7 days would be too long if you did an announcement of a fork up front, because it allows whales to get in at the end and maybe manipulate the price down. Whereas you had 3 or 4 days, kind of sounds really good to me. That could really ramp the price up pretty fast. Could get some a couple of extra returns in that possibly. Maybe let's say 2 to 3, and then of course anything shorter than that's kind of not cool. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on that. Let me know what you think in the chat. Jean Fonchibocus says my prediction: Hex down to 11.62 before going up again. Yeah, I guess we're at 12.97, and yeah, that seems like a reasonable position there, John. Come on. Salmon SB says. It's got the emojis in the house. Good to see Hex Token. Very, very cool. We've got Brendan Islick in the house. Does anyone know why Hedron on TradingView was deleted? Yeah, I think you said this yesterday, didn't you, Brendan, about that? I didn't even know it was on there, but I guess it would have been on there. TradingView is pretty good picking those up. Let me just check TradingView now on another computer. I'll just jump here. Hedron Pro. No, Hedron Pro. I just realized I got to go to TradingView. TradingView, not the Hedron Pro. I actually went to Hedron Pro. Peace, everybody. Peace. Let's go to. Obviously, if it's been deleted, I'm not going to find it, but I just thought I'd have a look for it anyway. Okay, well, it's there. Hedron. The Hedron Hex is there. So are you saying Hedron USD? Is that what you're saying? The Hedron Hex is showing up. Presumably it's the correct one. It's got Hex Hedron. So I don't even know if that matches up with Hex Hedron. Let's have a quick look on here. Show trades, not show trades. Where we going? We're going to the main menu here. Let's have a quick look at this Hex Hedron. 3.75. Oh, that doesn't match up at all on mine. So yeah, not sure why there. It's a bit strange. Let's go back to the original Hedron. Cool. Hey, welcome everybody. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. And definitely if you want to check out some short videos on Pulsechain, PulseX, how to bridge Ethereum, how to buy PulseX, how to buy Pulse. I'm going to hold a whole short video series on this. This is pre-recorded videos, only about 5 minutes long each. And they particularly target just particular functions that you want to do. So definitely check that out. Check those out for sure. Right. So let's go back up to the PulseX, up to the Hex there. Rare Grooves in house. Any whales are watching? Show us what you got and pump this another live. Yeah, I'm not quite sure that's how they do it, the Rare Groove, but I appreciate your humor on that. Brendan Eslick says beer is an animal that's near to me. just joined the Hex Token. That's funny, man. Just joking. That's funny. Hey, Crypto Keepers in the house. $1.99 super sticker. I could do a big bow for the super stickers. So in honor of your greatness and kindness, I appreciate that, Crypto Keeper. What is your price prediction? 1 year, 6 months, 2 years? Are you referring to Hex or Hedron or something? I guess you're talking about X. I'm talking about Pulse or PulseX. I presume you're talking about X, since we're mostly talking about X. So 1 year prediction is that we'll definitely be in the dollars. So 1 year from now, we could be possibly in the $3 to $7 mark is probably where we'll be in a year and a half. Now this is presuming we don't have a international financial meltdown. So that's my caveat. That's the black swan event. But assuming that, then yeah, probably $3 to $7 within a year to a year and 6 months. Yeah, I think that's probably about that. Just even up for the 2 year mark there. So definitely up in that zone. There is potential for us to get over $10 in that time frame. 50, that'd be 20x. Yeah, there is potential for us to get over $10, but I definitely think $3 to $7 in that time zone is the case. Now we're already been it's been already just over 6 months since our all-time high. So instead of the price pattern for Hex has changed. But we've also had within that time frame, we've had let's go September. Before September, when we got the all-time, we had the Pulsechain sacrifice. In late December, early January, we had the PulseX sacrifice that has absorbed a lot of buying power. If you think about it, now obviously that's like because we're building infrastructure this year. So this year is different from previous years when everyone could just focus on buying Hex and all that sort of stuff. We know that Hex has got infrastructure rolling out, so we've got lots of products being built on and around it, and of course some of the bigger stuff is going to take maybe three to 9 months to play out, and that's things like the Hex Scale Trust, and Richard Hart mentioned last year another trust that he was aware of. That possibly isn't as advanced as the Hex Investment Trust, but this takes time to do. So they're talking about two months to get $10 million. Was it 2 months? Yeah, I think it was 2 months to get $10 million. And then of course buying Hex 555 and so buying Hex and staking 555, never selling. So basically like a new whale in the space. Now, if they do that, of course, they're pretty confident about that. They will then be able to go and list this on major exchanges like NASDAQ, for example, and that would open up to institutions. That's a big deal going forward. So this is, we're talking about this $3 to $7 mark, possibly over $10 on the upper side is what could happen. So that's a lot of selling. So there will be a lot of OG selling pressure into that. That's why I always say that as we go up to the dollar rounds, because once we get over $1, a lot of institutions, institutions that are able to invest in crypto, and so that's a broad use of the term. Once we get over $1, it's got that psychological level, just like stocks when you get over $1. The other thing, of course, once you get over $1, the price moves at bigger intervals. So instead of moving at a couple of cents or possibly 7-8 cents in a day, that might become more the norm. So we move 10 cents in a day rather than moving a couple of cents in a day. And then of course as you get higher, that gets bigger and bigger, so you can move 30 cents in a day and so on as you move up. The other thing of course is Hex is actually getting scarcer, and if you've seen Whales Only chart, it shows that Hex is getting scarcer on his chart, and I should probably pop that up another day. So that's definitely happening. So we've got buyers coming in. We've got Hex getting scarcer, although of course we've got a bit of a stock split at the moment. So when I think about Hex at the moment, I'm thinking about them both together, and of course once they get split on both chains, then we're going to have to see how that plays out over time. But we should be able to see we're going to have economic energy to buy Hex on both chains. You see, economic energy to buy Hex on Pulsechain, economic energy to buy Hex on Ethereum. We already know we've got things like Hex Investment Trust already doing that, Overwatch doing that. Overwatch obviously going to get a lot of their stuff free because they've already got huge Hex bags. But just all those kind of whales are doing that, large holders, like I say. But once we get to the institutional getting that onto the market, people will say they're gonna be unbelievable. How do I get 38% plus a yield? And you can't do that on a lot of the index funds and stuff like that, right? Especially going forward, especially if the Fed is looking to reduce market purchases, and of course possibly do quite a few rate rises. So that's going to play as well. But we already know that's kind of what am I saying? That's kind of setting the tempo for people wanting higher yields because they can't get them. Regardless of what the Fed does, they won't be able to get the 38% plus. So that's what's pretty cool about these investment vehicles. They're going to stand out like a light on a hill. It's going to be pretty amazing. So that's going to take time to play out, though. People have to become aware of it, education, that sort of stuff. But that sort of stuff's coming. The other thing, of course, is that people on Pulsechain, a lot of people will probably get quite wealthy. A lot of Hexicans get quite wealthy, and of course, Pulsechainians, and the people will want to funnel money into a high APY savings account, and that would be Hex would be the golden child for that, right? So that's where I think we'll get a lot of attention there. On top of that, of course, when the bridge opens up, there'll be so many people coming over, potentially hundreds of thousands to low millions over, say, 18-month period, that they would be, Hex will be a product that they will be looking at as, at least a certain percentage of them maybe flowing into Hex, so that gives even more demand as well. So you can sort of see how that will play out. I think Hex on ETH will just continue to do its thing, and of course with the APY differential, there's some arbitrage opportunities there over time. So yeah, we'll see how they perform, but I think that there's a lot of fundamental factors that will just play out over time. Once again, once the Hex price, if it does start moving up into those ranges, then you could see the Hex OG selling, which I've said many times, and that means that a lot of that big paydays that a lot of those ones have got, they're trading those big paydays off for the US dollar gains, and that big paydays will get redistributed to new Hex stakers that never got big payday, and the rest of stakers who have still got their big paydays intact. So yeah, pretty cool. Hopefully that gives you a few top comments on that one. Brennan says 25 Aussie is 38 Kuwait. Okay, cool. Thanks, Brennan. So yeah, that's not too bad. Crypto Keeper says, do you believe Pulsechain can 3000x in how long? Yeah, definitely. So 3000x, I guess, 3 years, something like that, 2 years, 2-3 years, probably, somewhere in that ballpark. Now, people only get 3000x if they hold them that long, right? A lot of people don't hold them that long and they lose it. So yeah, I would say half the time that it took Ethereum to get their return. So Ethereum was 2015 with maybe 2015, so that's at 6 years. So yeah, 3 years, probably a good number there. Brandon says Hedron USDC pair. Yeah. So that's not what I had picked up either. Hey, Hex is back over 13 cents. Woo-hoo-hoo. Get that pump on. We're on the alley. We need to get a green candle. Come on, we can do it. Anyway, human Hex trafficker in the house. There's Charity's in the house. Hi, Charity. Human Hex Trafficker, what's up, guys? Not the price, but we're talking about the price being up later. Yeah, Sam and SB says, I'm driving here by what? By Maldives. By Malibu. Are you driving? I'm driving by I can't understand the rest of it. By Malibu, man. Okay, that's cool. That's like Hawaii, isn't it? So cool, Sam. Steve Wright says, yeah, I would love to drive a car around Hawaii. That'd be a really fun thing. Those high volcanic mountains and beautiful beaches, man. That'd be really cool. I'm in PLS, says Crypto Keeper. All right, so there I've been talking about Hex and talking about PLS. Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, well, price. We've got so many prices now. So PLS, yeah. So we're talking about PLS there. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, well, I can do that. Probably half the time that Ethereum did it is my guess. Hey, Wrench Gang 6 is in the house. Hey, good to see you, Craig. Woo-hoo. Craig's in there as well. Good time for him, 7 o'clock. Hey, Brendan, nice. So there we are, folks. Got up to date with the comments there. Let's us jump over to what we're going to talk about. We're going to go to we're going to just decouple this. Let me get rid of the chart here, and let's stop screening that. We're going to share let me pull this up. Bam. All right, nice. Now this is Wreck and Rochelle. This car is crazy. This car is crazy. And we're going to full screen that so you can see that. But this is Wreck and Rochelle posting. So one of the Overwatch founder, super cool guy, and of course the top sacrifices in PulseX, Pulsechain, I think. And of course here's this car. Look at this car, it's crazy. We're going to watch this quick video here. Let's go. So I had to show that car because it's just a crazy looking car. Look at that stuff in there. I'm trying to think of what kind of genre that is, but it's kind of futuristic and yet sort of 1950s or something at the same time, which is kind of how a lot of those cars did look in some regards. So cool. Just wanted to show that. Very, very nice. Let's jump out of there and share the camera around. Nice. We're going to jump back over to PulseX. What time is it? 10 minutes. So 10 minutes till the daily X stats come out. Well, maybe about 20 minutes because they take a little while to get to. But definitely nevertheless. Anyway, the Hex price is moving up. Let's actually change that around. We can see that coming in. So 13 cents at the moment. We've current hour, we dipped down to 12.9. So not doing too bad at this stage. Hey, Jay Pond's in the house. Hex Token channel member. Morning, everybody. Good to see Jay Pond here. And Crypto Keeper says thank you. Hey, you're welcome. Brennan Heslick says, is that a urinal on the passenger seat in the Rockham's car? I don't know. I think he was just testing it out, but man, what a weird car that is. That is some strange car for sure. I'm not sure if you can see that, yeah, but what does he say about it? I don't know if he says Pagani Hura startup. So Pagani Hura startup. I guess that's the car there. Let's see if he says anything about that to anyone commenting. Wow, looks like a space car. Yeah, that's what I was saying, right? Cool. Got some interesting interior. That sound. Yeah, the sound wasn't too bad of the car. It wasn't too bad. $2.8 million and you get half a Hot Wheel car. $5 million and you're riding it. Okay, so it's about $5 million apparently. There we are. Stop picking on me, hippie. That's hilarious. Right, about $5 million for that car. That's just crazy stuff right there. I don't think we've got any news from Richard Hart at the moment, so we definitely can jump on there. I don't think we've got anything Richard Hart. I did notice something different on PulseX though, so we'll check that out. So PulseX is got the buy and burn looks a bit different. So I'm going to refresh this actually. They've taken away a lot of those Deadpools. I'm not talking about the comic character. But or was it Ryan? But they've just got some of the active LPs going through. So I think they do update as they. I think that what they're doing it now is that they update. If they've got a little bit there to burn, then you can burn it. But at the moment, we've only got one here. Remember, we had a whole list of them, of LPs that you can burn. And at the moment, we've just got the PLSX one. I think if you refresh the page, it may bring up some more. There's only like 2 or 3 there, so this looks a bit different than it was. 750 on the value there. Let's do it. We're going to get 971 PulseX for free, 75 cents. We're going to do that. I'm not missing out this time. Last time I didn't do it. I missed out on a massive benefit there. Where we're going for it. Let's hopefully we get it. Why not? I know it's only testnet, but hey, I'm not going to let it go. It's cool runnings. Has it gone through? No, it's still going there. We got it. Did we get it? Yeah, I think we got it. So this is what I did. I got it here. So I got that. Let's have a view on the buy and burn. Yeah, we got all the burns there. Nice. Transferred. Cool VIP. How much burn have we got at the moment, actually? I think this one is the one we want. Let's go check that out. And we're going to read the code. We're going to hit the impulse. Oh, we must be up to like 12.3 billion or something. Let's double check my zeros there. Yeah, 12.3 billion pulse burn so far. That's pretty neat. We can also see that on the buy and burn. Is that the one here? Buy and burn? Or was the pulse bot? The burn bot. I think we're going to the buy and burn bot. No, that was not the one I wanted. Where's the other? I think it's the Twitter one, isn't it? Pulse bot. I think it's Pulse bot. The Pulse bot. Yeah, buy and burn 10 million. So we're up to over 12 million now. Buy and burn on PulseX. Very, very cool. All right, looking good there. Hey, look at the assets though. Hey, look, 362 million PulseX. Yes, doing pretty good at that. That was remember someone gave me 100 million, and I turned that into three. I got 3.6x on that, so pretty badass there. I haven't done anything. I was going to speculate. If I had speculated and done what I thought I was going to do, I would have made even more, but I didn't. I guess I chickened out. Maybe I chickened out. Maybe that was it. Let's refresh this buy and burn one more time. The PulseX price is at 00077. Let's go and have a look. Oh, there's nothing left because I took it all. I took all the buy and burn. Let's go and look at the exchange for PulseX at the moment. Let's have a look at the weekly chart there. So one Pulse will buy you 2.45 PulseX. I think probably a lot of people will do the trade for that. People are going to trade their PulseX. They probably do it for that, right? Let me know in the chat if you do a 2.5x for Pulse. You have to pay 2.5 PulseX for Pulse. Let me tell you if you do. Let me know in the chat if you do that. Do that one. So just maybe just write 2.5 x if you do that. The other thing, of course, is you'd swap that around and you'd be able to Pulse for PulseX for Pulse. That'd be you're gonna get 0.4 Pulse per PulseX. So let's look at Hex. What Hex would be? Hex. Hex would so one Hex would get you 594 pulse at the moment. So we do one Hex on there. Just there we are, 594. So 594 PLS per Hex at the moment. That's $1.13. No way. Is that $1.13? Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness. Did it really? Oh, I would have killed it if I'd done I was going to buy Hex back. You know how I sold my Hex? I was gonna actually Hex was way higher before. Hex was like miles higher. It's got the price chart here. I thought, yeah, or Hex was up to $2. Was it $1.70 here? That was way higher. Let's have a look. So we'll go to tokens again, and what else have we got? That's interesting. So party token up 11%. So that's counterintuitive, right? Party token's up. What else? We've got incentive token is up 1,252%. What? Incentive token is up 1,252%. What? That's some crazy stuff right there. That's pretty impressive. It's going to get back on the top 10. What the heck is driving that? I'm just trying to think. Look through there. Maybe PLS. Remember, this is just testnet, so it's all fictional. We've got quite a few crazy prices. The trend is your friend, though. The trend is your friend. People adding to liquidity. Yeah, people adding to liquidity over the hours. So they're doing little bits amounts, but they're still doing removings. Yeah, people are removing. So people are playing around on testnet. We've got people playing around. But it's a small fraction of people that compared to what actually will be done on this platform. So the people on this just a small fraction. It won't be a lot of thing. Let's have a look at the overview. So today we're running at 117 million or 118. We're running at 118 million on trade volume. So 118 million. So that's currently sitting at about probably an $80,000 to $83,000 buy and burn per day on PulseX. So about $82,000 to $83,000 per day at the moment. But of course, this is just fictional, right? I do expect it to be really quite high, even though these are all fictional prices. Everyone's got some value, but that's probably expect it to be way higher. What else we got going? Let's go back to the Hex, 3.04 cents. Nice. Let's go to the 15-minute chart on the Hex, and we'll check that out. Boom, 10.04. Okay, next up, let's get into the chat here again. Failed joke, says Brennan. Hey, that's all right. That's okay. Hey, it's just the way it goes. I'll 2.5x my PRC 20 copies. Nice. For PLS or PLX? It's for PLS, assuming people are buying PLS, the chain token. Not that cool. Just taking the coastal ride back home from LA. Ocean views was going through Malibu. Oh yeah, Malibu, California. Yeah, sorry, that's on the west coast. Yeah. So not in Hawaii. Yeah, the Malibu's in the California. Right, that makes sense. That's nice though, Sam. That's nice. Sam says, I want to buy some more Hex and stake. Been wondering about the spikes. Yeah, the spikes we're saying are MEV bot trades. So that's what's been hampering the Hex chart. And of course, people that are not aware of that perhaps are following them down, selling them down. So this spike here was an MEV bot. The spike over here was an MEV bot. And they're the ones that are tricking out the plebs. The plebs are selling down on the MEV bots, and of course they're making it a self-fulfilling decline. So that's kind of the argument there. Oh yeah, we just at 12.8 cents there, so another little sell, was it? Let's have a look on the trade there. We were getting some little buys in here, and we had a $2,500 sell on that one. So hey, that's MEV bots, man, harassing the Hex price. Dinger Wolf says, good morning, Mr. Hex Token. Hey, Dinger Wolf, good to see you in the house. As we say. Dinger Wolf will laugh at that. Pablo says, maybe better to buy using PRC 20s when the weak hands dump the price further than swap PLSX 2.5. Yeah, I think so too. And I'm going to be doing a video on that, Pablo. So I think that's a good topic. Navan says, does your PulseX and Pulse balance will be affected because of this testnet trade? No, it's Navin. All the stuff that's been moving around on testnet is just pretend. So obviously a lot of people got their sacrifice balances, but there's stuff coming in from third-party dApps that's entering the testnet as well, and it's all fake. It's all pretend stuff. So when mainnet goes live, the real token will be airdropped to you. Then you've got to take that seriously. You can't play around like it does now. So you can play around whatever you want. You can transfer the tokens to somebody else, which is what somebody did. They sent it to me so I could play around with. So yeah, it's all pretend, all fake. It's just about testing the stuff and getting used to, if you're a user, getting used to the interface. If you're a tester, being able just to test the Pulsechain itself. So this is a PulseX, of course, which is an application that it's like Uniswap and exchange on Pulsechain. But this is the block explorer, and this gives us a bird's eye view, or an eye view, a way of searching the blockchain. And of course, you can paste your address in there. You can look at transaction hashes and stuff like that. You can see how fast the blockchain is going, how many block transactions have been so far, how many blocks there's been so far. wallet addresses in there, so it's got some cool stuff there. You can look at the tokens. You can check all the tokens as well in there as well, and number of holders, etc. You can look at transactions, blocks, a few other things there. So cool. I think it's got some. I'm not sure if any of these work, but it's got some of those in there. Does a graphical art? I don't think that works. Does it? Graphical QL. Okay, it's got that. You can do some queries through that. I guess that is operational. Ether RPC. It's got some extra stuff there. I guess it's relevant to somebody, maybe. So you can play around on that. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, so that's the chain up and running, but it's all just test nets, pretend, nothing real, just making sure that all the the software works and the user experience is working. It's kind of like that. Nice. Let's get back to the Hex price there. 12.86 cents. Navin says why Hex and Hedron price tanking. We've been talking about that, Navin, most of this live stream. So we're just saying, like we're saying, there's MEV bots hurting the price here. So back here. So maybe somebody was selling a certain amount and the MEV bot sells before it and then buys back after it, but it makes the price spike down because they use very large amounts to extract the value, either extracting Hex out of it or extracting US dollar gains out of it. And of course, that actually impacts the chart. People look at that and go, oh, the chart's going down. And a couple of them sell on top of it. And then same thing here. Oh, the Hex is going down. So some people sell down on the bottom of it. And it becomes self-fulfilling. That's kind of what's happening there. And of course, a lot of the money's on the sidelines. So we've seen very low volumes on the Hex chart for a long time. We're in a quiet period before Pulsechain, and this typically happens when people get bored, people start losing a bit of faith, a bit of confidence. They get fudded out, then people start selling. That's pretty much like that. Obviously, if you're a buyer, you don't care. If it can get down to 10 cents or 8 cents, you'll be laughing silly because you'll be able to pick up way more Hex for your dollars. So if you're a buyer, you're not too concerned. But longer term, of course, the value of the chart does matter because the chart value does impact perceptions about the success and value of the project. And of course, this is some of the criticism that stable coins get, particularly decentralized algorithmic ones, because sometimes if they lose confidence, maybe in the chief projects, maybe let's talk about Luna, like their Luna token, if they lose confidence in that, people start selling down doing a run on the USD a stable coin and things like that. So projects to get hammered that way. So it becomes a self-fulfilling decline. But that's not the case in Hex. But that's kind of the way. Long-term value does matter over time. Digger Wolf says to be truly free, it takes critical thinking, being your true self, and speaking your truth, courage and self-responsibility, rather than looking to authority to think for you. Yeah, I would say speaking your truth. I don't know about that phrase, but the rest of it's pretty good. I think speaking your own experience, maybe something like that. I guess that is probably the way of putting it. Dingle Wolf says the world we are experiencing today results from our collective consciousness, and if we want a new world, each of us must take responsibility for helping create it. Hex, Pulsechain, and PulseX. Yeah, it's true. A bit being creative, making things happen, is a very important part. Some nice comments there, Dingle Wolf. Right, let's jump over to Hedron, and Hedron is at 2,231. And of course, that 2,000 is looking a lot more likely now, although we are holding this line here. If we hold this line and move up from here, this is bottoming out. That's cool. We've pretty much hit support there. If we break support, then yeah, definitely 2,000 is likely. But I would say that we could, go down and flash crash down further, maybe 1,700 there, maybe even 1,300. So yeah, let's have a look to see how we go. Now, if we look on the hourly on Hedron, what happened to the spike? I thought we had a spike on Hedron. Then the volumes are been pretty low. The volumes are pretty low on here. We'll see. Anyway, so I'm sure a lot of people wait for the price to get to a certain level, and maybe it's the 78.6 mark at that 2,000 level. Maybe they start defending the price at that point and start accumulating Hedron. A lot of the Hedron's not selling, right? So we've got 70 what do we say, 71 trillion Hedron. A lot of it's in big whale hands, and hasn't been selling because obviously there's just not the market for it. But yeah, 71.3 trillion. Very cool. Hey, I think we've moved out too. Let's go quickly check that. Hedron. I think we've moved out of the 7x now. Yeah, so we have just 8 minutes ago. So 8 minutes ago, we moved out a 7x bonus. It's now a 6x bonus. So if you're going to claim your Hedron, it's 6x bonus now. We've just gone into it 8 minutes ago. So the next 10 days, you'll be able to get 6x bonus if you claim. And of course, the next time, then it drops to 5x in 10 days time. So if you're not claiming those volume bonuses, you're losing a lot because it's a 1x volume bonus. And of course, this is a special launch phase over 100 days. So definitely don't miss out that. You've got to just go to Hedron DApp, connect your wallet, and your stakes will show up below down here, and then you can claim them. That's what you can do. So just click the claim. You don't have to mint them. You only mint them if you probably wanting to sell them. Otherwise, you just claim them, and that will claim the bonus for the life of the stake. So every day that you serve on your Hex stake, you get 1 Hedron per day, 1 Hedron per B share per day served. And of course, you lock in the claim bonus that you've got for the life of it. So every day, if you've locked in 7x bonus, you'll get 7x bonus. If you lock in 6, you get 6. So it makes a big deal on the amount of volume of Hedron you're getting paid for your native Hex stakes that you've done through go.hex.com or Staker app. So cool. All right, cool. Actually, the Hex daily stats must be out soon. So we'll comment on that. That's coming up soon. So that'll probably be a cool topic that we'll do. That's coming up shortly. Hey, Hex is back up at 12.9 cents. It's fighting. D-Hex is in the house. What's up, everybody around the world? Hexkins, Pulseskins, and PulseX. That's such a cool intro. Welcome there, D-Hex. I like it. Brownie says, am I late? We'll rewind. I go. Hi all. Hey Brownie, good to see you in the house. Yeah, well, we're still going for a bit longer. We're going to talk about the Hex daily stats when they come out. And I think that was the next topic. Other than that, we're looking at the Hex price and the Hedron price, hanging out with the community, which is pretty cool, right? Nevin says, Superman, you're doing a great job. When I ask questions, I am only teasing you because we both know the answers. We will together to Pluto and beyond. Nice one there, Nevin. Nice one. Yeah, keep me on my toes, is it where you keep me on my toes? What are we doing? Yeah, so we're going to come up to the Hex stats when it comes out. We're on day 856 is about to close. Very cool. I would like to do something cool for the day 1000. Was it we say day 1090? Was it 90 is 93? Something like that is 93. Let me do my maths again. 365 times 3. Yeah, the 1095. 1095 is 3 years. We're up to day 856 is about to update, and now we're currently in day 857. So cool. Let's see we'll see what the results are when they come in. It normally takes about maybe 10 to 20, probably 10 to 20 minutes after, and of course, so probably in the next few minutes we'll have that. But in any case, hey, welcome everybody. Don't forget subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. Now I'm doing a video series here. Just started launching them overnight. These are all pre-scheduled, so basically I do the short videos, I load them up, and then I have them scheduled releases. That's so I'm asleep when they're going to be overnight, so populate overnight. But I'm asleep when they launch. So there we are. So we've got how to bridge ETH to Pulsechain network, how to buy PulseX on PulseX crypto exchange, how to buy Pulse on PulseX at crypto exchange, and of course I'll be doing other videos like stables, liquidity, pools, farming, and stuff like that. So that's going to be a good little specialized series. It's only about 5 minutes long. A lot of people were saying they wanted some nice short videos. That's what's made me do these little short how-to videos. And of course, even it's on testnet at the moment. Of course, they'll apply for Pulsechain when it goes live, when mainnet goes live. So hopefully that'll be cool. I'm going to keep them all pretty similar looking, different people's faces on it, just to make it more engaging, I guess. But that's just so people know that's all part of the short video series. I call it the Quick and Easy. Quick and Easy video series. You can see at the top there. So definitely watch those if that's something keen for you. And also share them around. They're good, quick videos for people to get up to speed on how to buy Pulse, how to buy PulseX, and I'm going to do other. It's going to be quite a decent sized video series, just short 5-minute videos. So cool. That's in addition to the full live streams, which later today, 5-6 hours from now, I'll be covering another good presentation around the ecosystem. So we've got lots of topics coming, folks. No shortage of topics, so it's going to be pretty cool. And hopefully garner some cool insights out of those as well. Very, very nice. All right, let's jump back to the Hex price, 12.9 cents. I think I have to move to the 15-minute chart because we want to get more action on this. Now look at that when I go to 15-minute. That's crazy. We're going to zoom up on that. There we are. That gives you a bit more insight to what's happening. Man, hardly any volumes in here, if you noticed, in 15 minutes. Hardly no volumes even showing up there. That's pretty hilarious. James Cannon says, would you exchange PX for Pulse or PulseX? You think it's worth it? Okay, so James, it all depends on the ratio and what you think your original cost was to buy the Hex versus what you think you might make out of the Pulse trade or PulseX trade. A lot of people are going to be doing buying Hex, like small retailers. Those are the people I've been talking about, small retailer investors that are new, have been asking me, and they want to buy Hex, and all of them said they want to buy Hex, and they want to. Some of them didn't know what to buy, so I said buy Hex. If you're going to buy an ERC20, buy Hex, and then you can buy a Pulse or PulseX with it, or whatever you want to do. So I think it's a reasonable thing, but of course the ratio trading can be tricky, and it can go strongly against you. So you really need to make a judgment about whether the ratio is going to be in your favor. I imagine when the AMM bot's going to run, it's going to set up liquidity pools. And then people are going to engage those liquidity pools with their tokens that they've got, the airdrops. So whether they've got sacrifices or ERC20 airdrops, they're going to be interacting with that. Now we know people are going to be people have said, and we see that in the charts, that people are going to be swapping their PLSX for Pulse to start off with, and people have also indicated they're going to swap their Hex for Pulse. But once again, I'd be very careful about the ratios, and maybe you just because we expect there to be at least 1 or 2 days before the bridge opens up, the Pulsechain bridge, that you have a chance. Maybe just let it play out the ratios, and maybe find a more quieter ratio level be the case. But I think there is going to be a lot of demand, relatively speaking, for Pulse. But I do think later on that will swing back in favor of PulseX and Hex. There will be buyers that if the ratios do get really high, maybe it's 2.5 or 3 to 1 higher, that people will be buying tons of PulseX because PulseX has the better financials, but the Pulse has is the native token of the first system state copy of Ethereum. So people are after the chain token that is Pulse. So it's a different way of valuing. One is based on the perception of the chain, and of course the other one is based on the financial dynamics, which are amazing on PulseX. So people value them for those two things. That's why it's going to be an interesting battle between those two over time. But both of them are doing, in my view, going to do super, super well. Obviously not investment advice, just my own opinions. Just remember that. So cool. So yeah, I would just say trying to find a good ratio that you're acceptable with, and ultimately, I think over time you hold Pulse, and even if you did buy at a higher rate, maybe, and of course, when the bridge opens up, there's going to be a US dollar applied to those chains. So as soon as the US dollars start filtering in through, and these are wrapped US dollars, so and they're backed 1-to-1 on the Ethereum chain with the custodial, particularly USDC. I don't think USDT is but I think it's backed by different assets values. I've double checked that. I think it's the case, and of course other tokens die and things like that come over. So yeah, then we'll have a US dollar value. You'll be able to compare. I bought Hex at this price, or if you're getting an airdrop, you're talking about PX, sorry. So I almost went off on the EX there. So PX there, yeah, you could definitely do that. So that would be a free airdrop to you. You can trade it for PLS, and yeah, go for gold on that. Like, I think if the ratios get too high, then the market's going to arbitrage them back down. If people go, hey man, I can get so much PX for Pulse, you'll probably get some people swatching it back for PulseX. So yeah, I do know there's going to be quite a few buyers out for PX. So, but ultimately PLS will be the king coin to get it start. I don't see that being any. I think everything heads in signals that direction. So hopefully that helps, James. Nevin says, anybody from New York joining you? From New York. New York. I have my friend Prana in New York. Nevin says, Richard advises to buy Hex, and that could provide you an avenue to buy PulseX and Pulse. Yes, I agree with that, Nevin. And so just confirm that one. That's what I just tell people too. So to do that. What's up, guys? Says George Tucker. Good to see you, George. Hey, all, smash the like button, says Kim D. Absolutely, smash the like button. Very, very cool. Hey, so let's get into, I think we've probably got the daily stats out. No, not yet. Okay. We're waiting for the daily stats coming out. Well, they're a bit late at the moment. Waiting. Oh, they're out. They're out. So cool. So we've got day 856. So I'm not going to go through all of these, but just highlight some cool stuff. This is the 6th of April. So the price is down 10.7% there. Obviously, that's where we are at the moment, the 12.9 cents there. Where we got there, the payout for today was 6.055x. So even with the price going down, obviously that is important in terms of value. But if you're staking your Hex on Ethereum, you are getting that Hex payout every day. That's softening any price decreases, right? So you're getting that 6 Hex per T-share. T-share stands for trillions of shares. You're getting 6 Hex T-share. That's a really amazing value. And of course, that is equivalent to a 38.29% annual percentage yield. That's getting paid inflation and early end stake penalties. So pretty amazing. So that's what they get there. Those 6 Hex per T-share. And remember, getting T-shares is not getting easier because every day the T-share rate is going up and to the right. So at the moment, it's gone up today. It's gone up 3.4 Hex per T-share. So it's going to cost you 21,228 T-shares to get Hex. To get 1 T-share. That's for a 1-day stake. Now, obviously, when you stake your Hex, you swap your Hex over. It gets burned and destroyed. You swap it, and in return, you get shares. That's why we call a T-share is the trillion shares. You get shares, and those shares, you get 20% more shares per year the longer you stake. So you get longer pays better. So it's a pretty big deal. So longer pays better, 20% T-shares. Now there is a bigger pays better. I think the cap on bigger pays better is pretty massive, 150 million Hex. So I think that's the cap on that number. So most people won't be doing that sort of level, especially these days, unless you already had that sort of back. But yeah, so the longer pays better, 20% up to 10 years, so 3,640 days. So for 41 days, depending on who you're asking. So that will give you 200% more shares. So that's the only way of getting a lower Hex T-share rate, which would be about 7,000. So about a third of that. So about 7,000, 7,100, something like that. But you have to stake it out 10 years. But obviously, if you stake it out 10 years, you're going to get so much Hex payouts, and the T-share payouts, Hex per T-share payouts, is going to go up and to the right. So it's going to be massive. And obviously, you're going to get a copy on Pulsechain, so there's going to be 2 of these competing. So both chains, both Ethereum chain and Pulsechain are valuable. Then Hex should do well on both chains, with people being able to buy those on both chains. So it's going to be fascinating to see that play out. Let's have a look on the average stake length, 6.41 years. Man, oh man, it just keeps going higher and higher. So the average stake length is 6.41 at the moment. Man, that's incredible. I would suggest that this will be shorter stakes coming out that are quite large, and of course that's what's the average stake length, rather than new people staking long. I think it's more likely that this is moving because short-term stakes that are coming out that are quite large, and so the average stake length is coming out there. Occasionally we do see some big long-term stakes like the Hex Godwell that did the 15-year stake there, but apart from that, no. We've currently got, look, the pool's changed again. My goodness. So liquidity's been pulled again. So not only has the price gone down, but liquidity has been pulled from the thing. That's why we got in this chart here. So not only did we have this, when this bot happened, remember, we had one trade. It dropped us down to 9.3 cents. That's been helped along by the liquidity being pulled. We're down to 160 million. That should be above yesterday. We had a 10% decrease in price. We should have liquidity should be higher than 190 million, and yet we're down at 160. So someone's pulled a decent amount of liquidity there. The USD's down at 17.5, and the Ethereum there's at 18.69. So interesting. I think that's probably the highlights there. T-shares down 10,600. Down. We're sitting at 10,661,000. Like I say, with these T-shares go down, if you're holding a T-share, I mean, that's just a money printer for you. And of course, the less T-shares means that you're getting a higher reward from the inflation pool. So there's a bucket full of T-shares. Those are the owners. And there is a bucket full of inflation and penalties. That is the reward pool. And of course, if there's less T-shares, that means there's more rewards per T-share holder. So if you're holding a T-share, you are loving that, right? That's pretty much the basic math there for Hex, and that's wonderful. What else we got going? Massive inflation today. Look at that, 40 million. That's a pretty big day for inflation. Inflation's pretty low. I think Wales only has inflation around about 1.6%. And obviously, a lot of the inflation gets deferred into Hex. Remember, it's up to 3.69%. It never quite reaches that because of other reasons, but like they're at Hedron account and stuff, staking, good accounting, things like that. But that's kind of the maximum that it has. Penalties 1.8 million today. Pretty not bad day in the office. 1.8. So that's what I'm saying. You got those T-shares, and these will be really high as the US dollar price rises of Hex. More OGs early instate their big payday penalties big payday bonuses get redistributed to stakers, at least 50% back to stakers. So it's going to be some good times for stakers holding that in terms of volumes of Hex they're going to get. Changes to holders up 327, and stakers up 98. So it's a better day for stakers today. We had some pretty low numbers, 39.53 before that. But when Pulsechain opens, man, these numbers are going to look super, super good in my view. Very, very nice. All right, let's jump back to the Hex price. Got a little green candle on the 15 minutes. I'm kind of cheating because the thing is about getting a green candle on the hourly, but we're going to need it to be a bit higher for that. But hey, that's just the way we go. So that was the results. James says thanks. It helps a lot. I appreciate that, James. Let's have a look here. Smash. Yeah, very, very cool. Hey, James, I post this. I haven't actually gone through it in detail, but let's have a look here. Someone on this. I'd like to get where's it gone here? So there is a Pulsechain ratio tool that someone's made. You might want to spend a bit of time understanding it or going through it. I'll post that in the link there. You can check that out. Now the developer was in the chat that made it. I just can't remember who posted it to me, but you can check that out. Hex King's in the house with the fire. Nice. Hey, good to see you, Hex King. And George Tucker says RT shares more rare than Bitcoin. RT shares more rare than Bitcoin. When I first got into Hex at the beginning, I did a basic math on how much Hex would be. Because back there in the day, it was estimating what the total supply of Hex would be, and that excludes inflation at the time. But I think I worked out it was somewhere like 35,000 Hex per T-share at the time. Sorry, 35,000 Hex per Bitcoin is what I meant to say, or something like that. So yeah. It depends how you do the Bitcoin, but Bitcoin, if you're going to do it from the total supply that you expect to emit, remember the last Bitcoin comes out in 2141, so that's a long way away. None of us, I don't think any of us will be alive unless you're like a child that's going to live unless you're a child that's going to live for at least 100 years, or unless you could be a 10-year-old that's going to live for 110 years, might be lucky. But yeah. All right, so let's go to we're going to go to Hex Vision for just a quick look there. Let's say we've got 19 million Bitcoin at the moment. So yeah, we have got less T-shares is basically the answer. We've got less T-shares because we've got just under 10.7 million T-shares in this 19 million Bitcoin. But they say that 4 million Bitcoin are probably lost, and they say that 1 million Bitcoin is in Satoshi's wallet. So that's 5 million. So let's take 5 million off 19 million. That leaves 14 million. And we've got 10.7 million T-shares. So T-shares are quite a bit less than even with that adjustment. compared to Bitcoin. So hopefully that answers that one. What's up, families? Completion fails in the house. Nice. So we've got a total amount. Where's our totals? I thought we had our totals here. So no, that's not what I wanted. Where is it? I thought it was at the top here. Disappeared, folks. Disappeared. Not sure where that's gone. What the heck? That's not a dashboard. Dashboard? No. Overview. What happened to the overview? We had the top totals at the top here. Total hex. Oh, there it is. There. So 639 billion hex, and so let's say we had 639 395. So I'm not doing T-shares, I'm doing hex here. We already done the T-share one. 395 252 068. So yeah, T-share is going to end up being worth more than a Bitcoin. So that's what I mean. T-shares will be to get a T-share, it's going to eventually will be worth more than a Bitcoin. So we're going to divide that by, say, Bitcoin. I'll get the number so you guys can see it, but we're going to go to Bitcoin. We'll go to, this is for lack of a better place, just go to CoinGecko, and we're going to go to Bitcoin here, and we're going to go to Bitcoin, and we're going to go to the circulating supply, 19 million. So we're going to take that exact number, 19 million. So we're going to divide the total supply of hex. This is a different measure from, and then we're going to divide that by 19 million. And so yeah, 33,643 hex as the total per Bitcoin at the moment. That it doesn't assume that Bitcoin is lost or anything like that. So as I understand, there's 4 million Bitcoin has been lost in some form, and 1 million sitting Satoshi. That would make about 14 million in circulating supply, really, or at least available, as it were. So cool. Good question though. So that would assume price parity, right? So if you had if the price parity was there, so if we had a look at Bitcoin, was at 44 at the moment. So let's say 44,000 Bitcoin divided by 33,500, say hex. That would make hex $1.30. $1.30 to make that comparable in terms of hex would be the price. Do you guys like that? I like that. King says, smash those buttons. Woo-hoo-hoo. Hey, Hex King, I like it. I like the attitude. Jane says, you got a link to it? Yeah, I posted that, so that's cool. Thanks, you're welcome. George says, thanks for the answer. You're welcome on that one. Francis in the house. I love Jesus. Hello, good to see you, Francis, as always. John Gibbons says, any news on the Hex Investment Trust? Any takers for it yet? The initial goal was 10 million. 10 million, I think within, was it 2 months or 3 months? I had that in my head, but I've got confused myself now. It's 2 or 3 months. It's a big difference between 2 or 3 months, to be honest, but I think it's 3 months actually. So 10 million within 3 months. They were very confident that they would get that very quick. Kinetics didn't give any update that on that yesterday, but he did say that the highest of stakes was, I guess, transitioning into post-production. That was about as much as he gave. He did say that he did want to be on again soon, because he didn't think he would have some more something else to announce. They are super busy building a lot of stuff around the Hex Pulsechain ecosystem, so that's pretty exciting to see that. So hopefully he'll give us an update at some stage. I don't think we've seen any buying from them, I would say, at this stage. So it probably would take a couple of weeks. He said they did have queries at the time, and of course last year they said they had access to a $1 billion network with advisors and stuff like that would be pretty easy to see that happen. So now that the actual product's up and running, that they may take them just in practical sense a few weeks for that to come to market, as it were. So yeah, Hex is at 12.9 cents. We're doing pretty good. We're going to wrap up the live stream in probably in about 5 minutes, and then of course I'm going to be back on again in about 5 hours time. I'll be back on with a special live stream with another presentation, presumably. Let's see. I'm just kidding. Another presentation's coming. I'm also going to be doing some more pre-recorded videos, though. I'll let those float out overnight on PulseX, how to use PulseX, and much more. We're going to do those are 5-minute long videos. you haven't seen those, of course, check them out on the channel. Spread them around. These are what they're really for, is to move around, and they're just quite nice and plain and simple. 5 minutes. How to buy Pulse on PulseX, how to buy PulseX on PulseX, how to bridge Hex on to Pulse network, etc. So you'll be able to do that as well. So check out that series. They all look pretty similar, just so people know that they're 5 minute long videos. Pretty nice. Lies Beneath says thanks. See you later. Hey, Lies Beneath, appreciate it. So cool. All right. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, of course. We're trying to move on. How are we up to on the channel? Let's have a look and see how the channel's going. 3,725 subscribers. So we're heading up towards 3,800 as our next target. So I do appreciate the support as always. Yeah, very, very nice. Okay, cool. Let us jump around. Bitcoin holding up there, and X holding it. Hopefully we'll get back over 13 cents again. So yeah. How long did it take us to, let's go to the hour here. How long did it take us to drop down from, say, our 15.5 cent sort of support line? Let's have a look here on the map there. So we're at 15.5 cents. Let's say it took us, 2 days, almost 2.5 days to drop down 16% to the 13 cent mark there. So there we are, 2.5 days. Didn't take long, did it, to drop down? That's crypto. That's crypto. That's the way it goes. It also moves up very fast too. So I guess when this price chart does start to move, it's going to move fast, and a lot of people might be sleeping when it does. Hex is renowned for having these giant green candles suddenly appear. So we'll wait and see how that goes. Especially the news. It's really waiting for Richard how the news is going to be indicated. That's probably the big thing. So we'll look forward to that. Hedron as well is sitting at 2,348. So it's a bit of a pump on the Hedron hourly price. Nice. That is very, very cool. We can actually see the stats. This is what I like about Dex Screener, is that you can see the 24 hour, 6 hour, 1 hour stats there. The 24 hours, there's been 53 buys, 40 sells. 6 hours has been 23 buys, 12 sells, and 10 buys, 3 sells. So not bad there. Last 5 minutes, 3 buys. So we can see that in the chart there, a little bit of a pump. I do think it's still going to come down to 2,000. I think that at this stage, I'm probably 65% in favor of that and a 35% move up. Although today, at the moment, we've got a green candle, so that's a bit of a good call, a bit of a call for me. But I still think we're the fact that we broke down, we could still do that. That being said, of course, the line has been defended at this price. We've had it defended at 2,200 twice now, back here. So that might call me a liar at the end of the day. But at this stage, just to feel that 2,000 could come into play. That'd be a lower low, so that would change the structure quite a bit. So maybe it may not. Maybe it will get defended here and go up. So we'll see how that goes. I know that a lot of people are picking it up. They are very watching Hedron very closely, and so we'll see what happens there. Hex, of course. Come on, Hex, you do your thing. I think we're going to probably have to trade sideways a little bit here if we're going to hold this 13 cent mark, but we may drift down to 12.5 cents. Some people think 11.6 cents. That's probably a reasonable thing, and we'll see whether we test this spike that we got. This was a bot, MEV trade bot, so not really real. Just manipulated the chart. That's what I mean. So those MEV bots, man, they're not great at all. Not only did they impact the Hex chart and make people think that the price is going down and then sell on top of it, they also suck out US dollars out of the pool and Ethereum as well for the ETH pool. So yeah, Crystal says, take care, Superman. Hey, you're welcome. Hey, we're coming up to an hour and 30 minutes. That sounds like a good place to wrap up. Thanks for watching. I'm going to close out. I'm going to be back up for the presentation live show probably in about 5 hours time. So you can always catch up with me there. Once again, leave any comments for any how-to videos that you want, because I'm doing how-to series. Leave any comments in the comment section after the video. Be much appreciated as well. Cool. Hexy Club says, nice work, Hex Token. I appreciate that. A big shout out. Thanks for watching, you all. And just hodl bags, and accumulate. That's probably some suggestions there. Thanks for watching. If you're a Hex Token channel member, don't forget to smash out the emojis on the way out. That's how we roll here. So I'm going to pump some of those. Bam, bam, bam. Look at those. Look beautiful. 10 of them. 10 emojis. 10 emojis. So looking pretty good. All right. Take care now. I will see you later today.